All right. We hit the exact 6-month mark on Monday. So Monday the 30th of March was exactly 6 months since we lost Mike after him taking his life. So I need to start there, don't I? Like, it's a significant date. It was also on the back of his birthday the week before, the 22nd. So yeah, 8 days before. So I'm thinking about, what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a separate video specifically on 6 months of lessons. Just check how much time I've got on here. Okay, yeah. I'm going to do a separate video on lessons for 6 months. I've actually got a lot to say on that, like a lot of insights in terms of how that journey looks like from finding out to now, and what losing your brother to suicide, what that experience is over 6 months, and putting together a specific lessons video that might be helpful. But this one in particular is just the usual weekly check-in, how I'm doing, things I've thought about this week, and what the experience is in real time, rather than just being a 6-month look back. So Monday was the exact 6-month mark. So with that in mind, of having the birthday the week before as well, it was a significant thing, like his birthday, and then that. It's been mixed. I mentioned, if you watched 3 or 4 ago, I was coming in talking about the energy levels were super high, like crazy high. And I said on there, I wasn't sure whether I should say how good I feel on that video. For a split second, I thought, that, do I share that I feel great? Because actually that might make someone, or you watching, if you're not feeling great, bad, or am I behind, or whatever. But I did say I need to be honest about me feeling great, because I said on that video, I might be sat in a few weeks and say I feel like shit. Now, fortunately today, it's Saturday, I feel okay. This week felt like shit, like, but differently to the week before. I felt exhausted. It was like a grief exhaustion thing. That's what I was talking about last week. This week was emotional. Yeah, it was. And so that, therefore, I feel justified in saying why I felt great a few weeks ago, because I can sit here and say I felt this week was really, really bad. Like, yeah. When I say, yeah, I mean, I not really, like, I'm all right. It was just a tougher, it was one of the toughest weeks, which is surprising for me, because you would think before you go through this experience that the event happens, shock, the different stages that you go through, but you've got a line that's progressing upwards. You've got a line and you're getting better over time. So each day that passes, each month, each week, etc., you're getting better slowly but surely. It's just simply not true. At least in my experience anyway. Like, I've got to say that. It's my experience. It's not fact or this is a universal truth. Absolutely not. This is from my experience. I've gone shock, feeling all right, back and forward. And I really didn't think, or didn't anticipate, that 6 months on, I would be in some way have a worse week this week than I did 6 weeks ago. yeah, logically you wouldn't think that would make sense. You would think that as you're doing as much as you can to improve, to get better, to recover, all that type of stuff, you would think that you would see a line going up and improving each time. It's not. Like, and the other thing is as well, it goes, you can't pinpoint what it is as well. Of course, I have the specific dates in the diary and stuff like this. But the tiredness that hits you is, I think, a reflection of your mind trying to, or your body's got limited resources and energy, and it's putting it towards like stress or recovery. So therefore, the day-to-day activities that you want to be able to do, or normal life, you haven't got the reserves of power or energy. So it's a bit like, it feels, analogy-wise, like your body's on power save mode. But this week it was emotional, and I felt like it was mainly Tuesday, Wednesday. I still feel it inside a little bit. I feel steady. I feel all right. I feel all right. You just try and sit in it and think about, like, oh, you can feel it sort of there, you know? But I think in terms of where I'm at, like self-awareness, I'm learning is a very useful tool to have, is self-awareness, and think about what's happening as much as you can. So this week's been particularly hard. Yeah. It's been a bit of a mix though as well, because I've been posting every day because his track came out last Friday, and I mentioned that he's now officially an artist. He's on the stores, he's on streaming. I posted every day about the track and him, and pictures of him. And I just thought it was the timing felt quite nice, because it was his birthday, which is a really tough time. Of course, it's a significant date, which has gone, these significant dates have a big impact. And then the 6-month mark. I was going to say anniversary. Can't say anniversary. It sounds weird, I think. It doesn't feel right to me. 6-month mark, and then his birthday. And it was just it felt like, I didn't do this on purpose, but in hindsight now, it felt like significant dates that are tough, and then his track comes out, which sort of feels like, does that balance it out a little bit? There's a bit of a silver lining, maybe. I don't know. That's what it felt like to me anyway. It gave me something to focus on, of, okay, I've got his track out, I've got this to do for him, and it gives me focus on it. And it felt great to do that for him, to release a track with my brother. It was brilliant. So that's what this week's been like. What I've done though, as I said, I've found it a difficult week emotionally, but I haven't stopped. I'm still pushing on, still doing the things that give me meaning. Sitting here now, I could have easily woke up today with a tension headache. Easily could have not done this. I'll skip it. But I think when you have a reason and a purpose as strong as I have to do this, it trumps feeling a bit tired or whatever. There's a drive and a calling, and I can't explain it. Like, yeah, when you've got something like this to do that means so much and it's bigger than you, not in an egotistical way, but yeah, I just keep pushing, keep doing it, keep doing the right things, and working on the little things as much as possible. Going to the gym still, as hard as that is, doing the small habits. So yeah, I've actually written some stuff down, because this week, what I do, as you know, I don't edit these videos. They literally sit down, record. But what I try and do at least they might be of some value rather than me just rambling, is through the week I like dictate ideas or things or thoughts or anything, and be like, okay, right, I'll note that for Saturday's topic or something to talk about. One of the things, so the 6-month one was one of them. So yeah, 6-month mark, I'm doing a separate video specifically on lessons. So I'm probably going to make that one more editing. Like I'll edit that one in terms of lesson 1, 2 and stuff. So it'll be a bit better, I think. And then I've basically just got like a list of the stuff, topics and insights. One thought I had, I think it was Tuesday. I don't know where this came from. Normally when I'm making a coffee or something, a thought will pop in my head. I thought about the grieving process of grieving the loss of my brother and major losses. And I actually thought to myself, I was getting annoyed with having grief, if that's what you can call it. And part of me thought was like, when you have this grief or whatever it is, I'm so done with that word, actually. Like, I'm so done with it. But anyway, that's the word it is. I was like, is the part of you that's grieving the version of you before? Like the version of you that, looking back, was carefree, even though you're human beings, so you do have things to worry. You do have worries and all that. But the version of me that didn't have this thing that I'm trying to work on each day. You're trying to get through each day. You're trying to do your best in life. You're just trying to do your best. You're trying to get through each day as best as you can and have a peaceful life as easy as you can. But you've got this thing that's like, it's almost like I'm thinking of an analogy in real time here. It's like if you're in like a video game, let's say, maybe this is a rubbish analogy, but say if you're playing a video game, like Mario Kart, let's say, and you're playing Mario Kart against someone, and then someone hits you with something and it makes your car go really slow, and you're going through treacle or something, and everyone's going like taking over you and stuff like this in Mario Kart. Feels a bit like you're trying to work through life a bit like that. That might be nonsense that I've just thought about that literally just then, trying to work that out in my head, but it feels like you're trying to do your best in life and trying to just crack on, but you've got a weight on you holding you back and making it more difficult. So if you went on a run or something, you've got big heavy metal plates on you. So you're almost maybe grieving the version of you that didn't have these big metal plates on you and you could just run, because you know the fact that if you got rid of those metal plates, life would be so much easier, and running would be easier and everything like that. So that's sort of what it's felt like a bit like this week. Was that my point? I've just rambled here. Yeah, so grieving the version of yourself that had it, that didn't have grief before. The version of you now that you're in this position. Like when I got the phone call about Mike, I was oblivious to the news, and then it pops in, and then suddenly, okay, now I'm this new person who has to handle life in a much more difficult way than what it was before. Yeah, maybe that's something. I was going to say, actually, I often say, if there's any experts watching, let me know. Something cool that's happening next week. So I just remembered that. Yeah, something's cool that's happening next week. I did counselling and therapy at the end of 2025. So I did 6 sessions. So my work, they give me 6 free sessions, and it was brilliant. Like, I want to do more. I'm going to ask to do more, and just do more of it. It's so good. It's really good. But I spoke with him, Richard, on Wednesday or Thursday this week, and we're going to do a podcast. We're going to do probably probably got to do a good few hours. So maybe like 3-4 hours, and split it into maybe 3 or 4, and then maybe we do it as a regular thing. I'll be up for that. But I'm going to sit down with my therapist, counsellor, Richard, and we're going to chat. I did watch, funny enough, the Jonah Hill documentary with Stutz, is it Stutz, this week, and then I chatted with the counsellor, therapist, and yeah, we're going to sit down and have a chat, and maybe I get therapy live. Like, I don't know, like it might be quite an interesting concept, wouldn't it? But I just think it's interesting because we can speak. I can say my thoughts like this and get real-time feedback and vice versa. And yeah, I think it might be quite an interesting watch. So he's coming in next week, and then I'll post it the following week, and probably do, as I said, might do it a regular thing. I'd be up for that if he is, or he might get fed up on me, mightn't he? So yeah, that's to come next week, and then I'll do another one of these as well. It won't be instead of this. A couple of other points, I mentioned it last week. Grief is it illness or burnout? I've mentioned that before, but it's not the topic I want to talk about because I'm limited on time. Well, I'm not limited on time, but I want to make this at least not too long. Toxic positivity. That was a thing I thought about this week. The reason why is I've got a thing on my phone. It's basically, it gives me quotes. It's like, it gives me quotes. Like, for its top left there, it says like, "Don't rush things today," and the other one says, "Today I choose peace over bullshit." Like, I get that. So I get those every day, and I think, am I in focus? I get those every day, but then one of them was things will always work out in the end. And I was just like, you know what, sometimes that's just nonsense, isn't it? Like, that sounds negative, but it's a bit like, sometimes it doesn't always work out in the end. Like, but you have to deal with that situation, and that's the thing. Like, you can end up being in bad, awful, horrific situation and circumstances, like I have. People have it worse than me, of course they do. Everyone has it worse than someone else. But I've got a really bad situation with losing my brother to suicide. Absolutely nailed on, awful, tragic scenario. So things really haven't worked out in the end, have they? But how do I approach it? I think that's the thing, is how I'm thinking. This is live. It's the way that you make it, isn't it? You make the thing work out in the end. It's you have the control and you have the power, don't you? I'm taking this situation and trying to turn it into a positive as much as I possibly can to make it work out in the end. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to. I'm making music. I'm releasing it with him. I'm trying to bring some good to the world with it. I'm doing this. I'm trying to really focus on my value that I bring to the world, to my interactions with people day to day. Just trying to add positivity as much as I can, for myself and for others, and try and make it work out in the end. But I just think sometimes, I don't know if toxic positivity is the right thing, but sometimes it can be a bit like, you're losing your power a little bit, aren't you? Like, oh, it'll be fine in the end. It's like, well, what if it isn't? You've got to have the tools then, haven't you, to handle it if it isn't, rather than just sort of be, oh, it'd be fine. You've got to be pragmatic, and sometimes, and life, it's inevitable, will go badly. You need the tools and the attitudes and the systems, I suppose, habits, to handle it when it gets tough. So that was just something. I'm not an expert there. It's just something I thought about, and it's because of that app that come up with like, things will work out in the end. It's like, you're telling that the reason why is I've got that message on my phone from a motivation app the day of 6 months. 6th anniversary of losing my brother. It's like, okay, how do I take that? To that, I mentioned last week, rest without guilt. I've been doing that a bit better. So I'm actually feeling a lot better about implementing, or not implementing, because rest is inevitable in terms of going to sleep and stuff, but lying on the couch and watching YouTube and not feeling like I'm wasting time. Like, I'm doing that better, but I still, I can't lose momentum. I'm not doing that. The other one, okay, how long we got? Are we done? Each episode is getting long. Each episode is getting longer as well. So, final ones. I mentioned YouTube, didn't I? And one of them is auditing your inputs. So, being aware that what goes in your head and in your mind. So what I do when I mention about rest and feeling maybe guilty for that, I watch positive, interesting stuff on YouTube to learn. This week I've watched been obsessed with the moon Artemis launch, and been watching. Last night I was watching basically just a black screen with a spacecraft on it live. But I generally watch things that are useful and learning, and listen to audiobooks or things like Blinkist or Headway, that type of thing, just to make the most of the time. And I think being conscious of what's going in your head has a real big impact. You put negative stuff in, it's inevitably going to get garbage out, isn't it? So that's what I do as much as possible, and being conscious of just things that give you value or not value in your life. Some things are like net even, like some things are net positive in your life, which you know are good. This is a net positive. I enjoy doing it. I feel better after it. I get value from it. It gives me something to focus on. It gives me meaning. I get net positive would be like I go to the gym, so I feel better for that. Even from a self-esteem perspective, all these things, the green juice. But then there's net negative stuff, isn't there? So you basically need to focus on getting rid of the net negative habits, disciplines, routines, attitudes, even people as well. Just like if it's adding negative value to your life, then be conscious of it and remove it. I removed alcohol fully, and I feel brilliant for it. I removed watching rubbish on YouTube, even though that's all right. I'm trying to replace that as much as possible with educational stuff. Still, you can still watch rubbish on YouTube though. Like, that is not necessarily fully time, but it's just being conscious. So that's something I think is really important. So it comes back to it'll all work out in the end. And I think, yes, it will. If you decide it's the case, I think, and I'm trying my best every day to make that the case, that it works out in the end. And it's when is the end as well? Like, you haven't got any other time other than now, have you? So it's trying to make now, the moment that you sat in, as good as it can be. Yeah, that's quite a deep one to end on, isn't it? I've done 25 minutes. Each episode or each video has gone from like 17 minutes, 18 minutes, 20, 22, and then it's gone to 25. So I'll leave it there, I reckon, because I don't want these to be epic, difficult things to get through. So yes, 6 months, Mike's track came out. He's an artist. Feeling this week was an emotional dip this week. Today, feel all right. I'll do a video for the 6 month of lessons. Next week, I've got Richard, the therapist, coming in. We're going to sit down and chat. And then, so it's bank holiday. So I'm going to see my family tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. My nephew, Mike's son, and then my niece, Mike's daughter, and then Mike's stepson, as well. And then of course like my family and my mum and everything like that. So yeah, that's something that's, yeah, that's it. So yeah, thanks for watching. As always, if you're going through like a hard time or difficulties or anything like that, you know, I hope you're doing all right. I hope this video in any way helps. Yeah, I hope it does. I'm laughing because it might not, like, but hopefully it does. And I hope you're doing all right. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one.